Before we have a look at how we eat right now, we'll first offer a bit more information about the other macronutrients, fats, and proteins. Carbohydrates have already been discussed in Part 2. Fats. When it comes to fats, it's important to know that we distinguish between saturated, trans, and oxidized fats in our nutrition, and unsaturated fats, of which the polyunsaturated fats are the most healthy. Saturated, trans, and oxidized fats significantly increase the chance of cardiovascular disease. In the next part, we'll offer advice on their consumption, but it's clear that it should be limited. Unsaturated fats increase our healthy cholesterol and therefore lower the chance of cardiovascular disease. Proteins. Protein-rich food is important for, among other things, tissue growth and maintaining our muscle mass. Protein-rich food is very filling and slows intestinal passage, so it is ideal when combined with carbohydrates to avoid blood sugar level peaks. We distinguish between plant and animal protein. In this respect, it's important to know that food with animal protein contains a lot of saturated fat. Therefore, the advice is to limit animal products and to get protein from a combination of animal and plant-based products. We'll offer more concrete advice on this in the next chapter. Nutrition advice. Nutrition advice doesn't differ that much between countries. The current advice is mostly aimed at slowing the increase of overweight and obesity and promoting health. Let's take a look into our dietary habits and see what we can change for a healthier future. Meat. On average, we eat about 86.7 kilograms, France, and 107.9 kilograms, Luxembourg, of meat per year. Most people eat about 95 to 100 kilograms per year. This comes down to about 1,900 grams per week. The Health Council advises no more than 500 grams per week to avoid the risks of several chronic diseases and to alleviate the environmental pressure of our food. So, on the whole, our consumption should be substantially lower. Dairy. We consume between 189, Greece, and 390, Spain, grams of dairy per day. Our average dairy consumption meets the guidelines for healthy nutrition, but for the purpose of bone health, should not be much lower. Fruit. 64% of us eat fruit on a daily basis. However, this varies from country to country, from 35% in Bulgaria to 85% in Italy. On average, only a quarter of the European population has fruit twice a day. For example, in the Netherlands, people consume an average of 120 grams of fruit per day, while the advice is a minimum of 200 grams per day to prevent chronic diseases like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and certain types of cancer. So, in general, we can eat quite a bit more. Vegetables. 23% of us have vegetables on the menu, at least twice per day. Again, the averages differ quite a bit. In the Netherlands, 131 grams of vegetables are eaten 6 times per week, while the advice is a minimum of 200 grams per day. Belgians eat the most vegetables. About 84% eat vegetables every day, compared to only 30% in Hungary, and with the Romanians, Latvians, Lithuanians, and Bulgarians, only 50% of the population eats vegetables once a day. So there is a lot of room for improvement overall. Legumes. On average, people eat legumes like beans, soybeans, peas, chickpeas, peanuts, lentils, lupins, mesquite, carob, tamarind, alfalfa, and clover only once every 1 to 3 weeks, which comes down to about 4 grams a day. According to the Health Council, this is much too low. Their advice is at least once a week. Sugar and candy. We eat about 140 grams of sugar per day. Yearly sugar intake per person has increased about 4% since 2010. That is about 0.5% a year. On average, adults drink about 292 milliliters of sugary drinks. In children, this is about 595 milliliters. The World Health Organization reports that consumption of sugary drinks significantly increases the risk of overweight and diabetes. Their advice is a maximum of 50 grams of sugar per day, but preferably 25 grams per day. In general, this means that we should more than halve our sugar consumption. Alcohol. Research conducted by the World Health Organization shows that, on average, we drink the equivalent of more than 2 bottles of wine per week. This is detrimental to our health. Yearly, 290,000 people in Europe alone die as a result of excessive alcohol consumption. The advice is a maximum of 1 alcoholic beverage a day or less. Salt. We need salt, but on average we use about 10 grams of it per day, while the advice is a maximum of 5 grams to avoid high blood pressure and to decrease the risk of heart conditions and strokes. Lowering our salt intake to the recommended level of less than 5 grams a day could prevent about 1.7 million deaths a year. Water and tea. Drinking enough water or tea, without sugar of course, is essential for vital bodily functions. Transporting blood through the digestive system, flushing out waste and toxins, maintaining fluid levels, and regulating body temperature. 1.5 to 2 liters, 8 glasses per day is the advice. All this information shows us that, in many ways, our diet is a breeding ground for the development of many different chronic and lifestyle diseases. At the same time, this means we can also gain health benefits in almost every aspect of our diet. In the next chapter, we'll provide a compact overview of what to eat more and what to eat less.